All right. So, all right, guys. So this is gonna be a pretty quick live stream, probably about 15 minutes. I just want to come on here really quick and talk about Bitcoin, talk about where things are gonna go, in my opinion. Right? I could be wrong. None of this is financial advice. Do remember that, please. So first things first, we're gonna go look at Bitcoin, and we're gonna look at Bookmap to see where the liquidity is at on Bitcoin. See these big green blobs down here? That means Bitcoin has a lot of orders down here, which means it's more likely that we come down than we go up, at least I would say in the next 24 hours. Now the next stop, really, if you zoom in, you have a lot of liquidity around just above $18,000, and then you also have quite a bit at 17.5, which was the bottom about 3 months ago. So 17.5 would be a huge key level of support, and then lower you do have some more liquidity, but overall 18,000, 17.5, I would not be surprised at all if in the next few days we came down and touched that again. Try to act as that as support, at least for a while, and then we'll see if it breaks. But that will be a huge key level of support if we do go back down there. You can see there's not much liquidity up here, so if we go up to 20K or something like that, I wouldn't be surprised at all. But overall, I think it's very likely that we come down the next by the end of the week to see 18,000, maybe 17.5 again. I would think that's very, very, very likely. Now let's go over to Bitcoin check out how it's doing. So we'll start here on the daily chart and work our way down. Daily chart is still in a downtrend. RSI is currently at 33, so still has a little more downside before it resets on the daily. You got the 4-hour chart, which is overbought almost. It is overbought at 93. Let's check the 1-hour chart. 1-hour chart is topped out twice today, almost like a double top. And the 15-minute chart is resetting. Short-term 15-minute chart did make a higher low when it reset, but the problem is on the 4-hour chart, you're almost overbought and you have not broken previous high. You would have to at least get above $20,200 for a higher high, or a double top, I should say. Anything above $20,200 would be a higher high, and as of right now, we're not there yet. We have a little more. We could go up here on the 4-hour time frame, but overall, it closes in 3.5 hours. So I guess it has 3.5 hours to see what happens, because I bet in the next candle you're going to be overbought again. So you have it's about 3.5 hours until you have to be above 20,200. Otherwise, it's very bearish on the 4-hour time frame. Like I said, the 15-minute chart is bullish right now, but the 4-hour time frame is bearish. I care more about the 4-hour chart and the daily chart because I just don't day trade anymore, really. Sometimes the trades end in a day, so I guess it is a day trade. But I'm basing my trades off the 1-hour and especially the 4-hour chart. So that's right now for Bitcoin. I wouldn't be surprised at all if you came up to $20,000 where you have some liquidity, but overall I'm expecting later this week to have a retest of 18,000, 17.5 within the next week or so. So that's it for Bitcoin. That's my synopsis. If you guys have any questions, let me know. If you guys have some requests, I can do some requests. I'm not going to spend too much time on Jasmine. I just posted a video about 10 minutes ago on Jasmine of what I think is going on. Right now, you're ranged around between 0.7 of a penny and 0.75 of a penny, so a 5% range. To me, it's pretty bearish, but I did talk about it. So if you guys want more details, go check out that video. It's on YouTube. If you guys are new, appreciate it if you hit that like and subscribe button or the follow button if you guys are on TikTok. I do go live at least once a week, and if I can, twice a week, Mondays and Fridays. But definitely, I definitely go live once a week for sure. I always make sure I do. So, if there's any questions, let me know, and I appreciate it if you hit that like button. So that is it for Bitcoin and Jasmine. Luna Classic is another one I wanted to look at, and then I will start taking requests if there's any. If there's not, then that's okay. I just want to come on here and tell you my thoughts. Yeah, so right now Luna Classic is at 30. This is kind of what I'm watching, or that I just saw recently as I just looked at it about in the last 10 seconds, is a falling wedge on Luna Classic. So I will not be trading this. I'm not trading altcoins anymore, or whatever you want to call it. This, if you want to call it a shitcoin, so be it. But overall, this is a falling wedge. They break to the upside 70% of the time, and the measured move would be, so I take it from the bottom, the last local low, to the top. The measured move, if it were to break out, would basically be for a slightly higher high up to about 65, 66. You could even just say it's a double top at 60. So that is a measured move. Even if you only, even if you're being conservative and said, I am only targeting a double top, that's still 120% gains. Hold on, let me verify that from the current price. currently, I guess it's not quite that much. We're currently at 30. We'll call it that. So about 93, 94% gains if it were to hit the measure move. So none of this is financial advice. I'm not saying that will happen, but it is in a falling wedge, and to me it looks bullish right now. If I did take a trade on it, it'd be a very small position. I'm not going to put my whole account in it or anything. So I'm not saying, I'm not taking this trade, but if I were, it would be a very small portion of my account. So that's it. Luna Classic actually looks pretty bullish to me, though, right now. Now, if we go look at the RSI, then maybe that's another story. Daily chart has potential to moon. The 4-hour chart is overbought. That's a red flag right now. Overbought, and you did not break the previous high, but that also is because it's consolidating in a falling wedge. So I'll give the benefit of the doubt on the 4-hour. But I think it's going to be harder for it to pump if the 4 hours already cooked on the RSI. 1-hour chart needs to still reset in a downtrend, which is to be expected when it's at the top of the channel. So you're probably going to come back down here and test about 25, 26, and then get the bounce. If you don't hold 25, then obviously the falling wedge is no longer valid, and then you're going to look for a huge dump, maybe back to 19 where you have some support. So that's it for Bitcoin, Jasmine, and Luna. If there's any other requests, let me know, and I'll look at them. Other coins. I know it's not the normal time we go live. I'm probably going to start going live on Mondays at like 7:30, around this time, Central Time. So, all right, so I can go look at Quant. I got about another 10 minutes. I can do this. Quant, we'll use a KuCoin chart. Let me go to the daily chart on Quant really quick. What did I have drawn on Quant? I kind of had us in a falling wedge. You could still say we're in that falling wedge. Trying to break to the upside, but my measure move was $180. Right now I'm at 106, so I wouldn't say broke out or anything, but I would say that's still a valid falling wedge. Daily chart is a downtrend, so that's one reason to be bearish on it. The 4-hour chart is 4-hour chart has a little more room to the upside, and if you want to be bullish on this, you have to break $113 because 113 would be a triple top, really. So you would love to break to like 120 for a higher high, but 113 is the bare minimum. If you don't get to 113, you're going to look for a lot more downside on Quant. The next major support would be around $85. So you have to get above 113, 120 to be safe. If you hit 120, then you're in a bullish trend on Quant. But if you don't get to 113, you cannot be bullish on Quant, at least on the daily chart. So that's Quant really quick, just going through these pretty quickly. And then someone else requested Chillx. Yeah, which I don't know what that is, but let's look. CHILLX. It's on Binance. I think I've looked at this before. So Chillx. Currently, yeah, I definitely have. Chillx at resistance at 25, 26 cents. And if it doesn't hold that, your next support would be this top, which was once resistance at 22, 23, would now be support to the downside. So if you don't get above 26, then 23 would be your next support on the 4-hour chart. So it's looking like you just went straight up here. So I would expect some major pullbacks. Let's look at the daily chart. Daily chart on the RSI is topped out. I would not be entering long right now. If anything, probably a short. But I would wait for the 4-hour chart to be overbought and then maybe enter a short. Let's look at the 1-hour chart. 1-hour chart is also very overbought. So this could be a good short, going to short, at least probably to the next support of 23. Not financial advice, but it looks like it needs a cool down and consolidation right now. So that's it for CHZ. Chili's needs to come down, in my opinion. That's just what I see on the charts. The RSI is completely overbought, but anything can happen. It is crypto. So, what are we buying? Well, if I was buying anything, I'm still on the sidelines waiting for this to change. Let me go to this, to the fear and greed index. I'm waiting for this to go into the single digits again. If that happens, then I'll be buying a lot. If it doesn't happen, then I'll still be buying pretty soon, but I still feel like there's more downside. So if I was buying anything, when I do start buying, I'm going to be buying Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Cardano, and if I do buy any altcoins, it's going to be very minimal. Chainlink, I'm going to be buying a little bit of that too, but overall, very few altcoins this run. So those are the 4 coins I will be buying though in the next bear market. Well, in this bear market, I should say. So those are the 4 I'm very interested in. I'll have a small bag and link, and then the other 3 would be much bigger bags. So I'm going to limit my exposure for this next bull run, but also I can make more money investing in coins that are very safe. So those are the 4 coins I'm going to be investing in. If I do invest in other ones, it's going to be, like I said, maybe like 1% of whatever I have. But those are the 4 I would recommend, not financial advice, but just what I will be doing personally for this next upcoming bull run in probably a year or two. So with that being said, guys, thanks guys for joining. I don't have anything else to go over. I will wrap up on Bitcoin, and if there's any other requests, let me know. Now or forever hold your peace. I have another 6 minutes to talk, so if you guys want to keep requesting coins, so be it. But to me, I would not be surprised at all if Bitcoin comes up to $20,000 based on where this liquidity is up here. Maybe even $20,250, maybe $20,300. From there, I would expect a pullback, and I'm looking for 18,000, and then you have a lot of liquidity at 75. I would not be surprised at all if that happens in a week to be back 18,000. Maybe it happens tomorrow. Who knows? So I'm looking for a move up to 20,000. I'm not going to be buying this as a long position. I think it's too risky with everything being overbought. But then I would, if it does get to 20K, that'd be a great short opportunity, in my humble opinion, to enter a short, at least to take you to 18.5 or 17.5. So with that being said, guys, that's all I got. We can look at XYO really quick. XYO is currently at 73. It's in a massive downtrend. Let's look and see how the RSI is at. RSI is completely oversold on the daily chart. The 4-hour chart is at 50, and the 1-hour chart is overbought. This is not a coin I'd be long on because, look, it's just a massive downtrend until you break this downsloping resistance on the... I want to go to the 4-hour chart. Until you stop going down in this massive downtrend, it's not bullish. You have to break this up downsloping resistance line, and until you do it, you're not bullish on XYO. So right now that line is at we'll call it 0.75. You're somewhat close to it, but you have to break that line. If you don't, game over. It's going to continue going down, and then VGX quickly. VGX is at 62 cents daily chart. Let's look at the daily chart. Daily chart is in a downtrend, almost what I would call a falling wedge. So VGX short term could be somewhat bullish. It's not the best falling wedge, but that is definitely a falling wedge, and I like falling wedges. The measured move for VGX, if it wanted to moon, would be... Don't get too excited. We're in a bear market. $2.20. By no means am I saying that's gonna happen, but you know, that to me that looks like a falling wedge, and they do break up. Look, this was a falling wedge. It broke up. This was kind of a falling wedge. You broke up. To me, you're actually in a bull trend on this coin. Unlike XYO, this thing is very bullish, and you have upsloping support right now. Now, be careful. Daily chart is completely oversold. I like what I'm seeing right now. 4-hour chart, not in the best spot, and the 1-hour chart needs to come down. But overall, if the 1-hour chart resets, to me, VGX is one to keep on the radar. It looks like instead of falling wedge, this thing could break. I mean, just go nuts. Not saying you should go all in, but this thing looks bullish to me right now on the 4-hour and daily time frame. I would wait for the 1-hour chart to reset, maybe even wait for the 4-hour chart to reset. But overall, this thing looks ready to go here in the next few days. So maybe this is one we come back to later this week and see what happens with that. I'll write this coin down on my sheet. VGX looks ready to do some damage here later this week. All right, so thank you for that request. That'll be interesting to watch. With that being said, guys, that's all I got. I will see you guys in the next live stream. I'm aiming to go live here on Friday around this time, but we will see what happens. Otherwise, I will definitely be live again next Monday, and I'll make videos if I don't go live on Friday throughout the week. So with that being said, guys, thanks guys for joining. I'll see you guys in the next one.